Hey, this is Brandon, once again, back with another RPG Freebies. This is a pay what you want adventure for old school essentials. Let's take a look at it. Temple of the Flame Lord. It will be linked down in the description if you want to pick it up. We got a skull with a crown on it. And what's the story here? What's going on is this is an adventure for levels 3 to 5. You have a giant king amongst the fire giants. He gathered his people and he made alliance with the dwarves who lived in the same volcanic chain. And together, the dwarves and the giants, slew many greenskins and drove their hordes to near extinction. This was a time called the Time of Searing. And the humiliation has been passed down by oral tradition. And it was an age of great prosperity for both the giants and the dwarves. And so when the king passed away, the giants and dwarves built him a grand tomb known as the Temple of the Flame Lord. He was entombed there with his great crown of gold and obsidian. His body was venerated for generations after by fire giants, so the temple was maintained by the dwarves. Now, one thing I like about this is they, in essence, there was like a golden age. The dwarves maintained the temple. The ancient treaties demanded that they do that, but the fire giants ceased to make their trek to this temple. More time passed, history faded to legend, then to myth, and finally, the Dwarven Empire's borders were pushed back by time and the forces of their enemies, and so they couldn't take care of the temple anymore, so it fell into ruin. I think that's pretty cool just to think about, hey, we're taking care of this temple, but then all of a sudden all these other things happen over time, and we can no longer do that. Maybe they're not even thinking about it, and it kind of decays away. Well, there is a dull chief Tharkle of the Green Sword Orcs, and he seeks to win some respect for his tribe by looting and desecrating the temple. So it is, of course, of great importance, this temple, and there is a ritual that you have to do. It says players may not complete the ritual or even figure out what it entails, as there are several ways to counteract the curtain of flame protecting the body. So he of course, this chief wants to get to this Flame Lord's crown because it's made out of gold and obsidian. It's very nice. So we have the procedure you have to do for the ritual. Of course, I don't like this first one. The pilgrim was bathed in a bath of boiling water. That seems pretty bad. You've got to carry some stuff, do it here and there. You've got to deposit some treasure, and yeah, then you're allowed to ascend and view the Flame Lord's body. There's a bunch of rumors about the area. And of course, some of those are false, listed with an F there. We've got this map showing you how it is. And then it's built on a giant scale. So its intended entrance was flanked by stone columns 30 feet tall. Some of them have been destroyed. It tells you more about how it's built. It's made out of marble and volcanic rock. Building A is going to be the main temple complex, as you can see. The lava flow covered the ceiling and rolling to the ground may be scaled and used to access to via a collapsed section of roof. So buildings B and C are small bunkhouses where the dwarven workers and priests maintained the temple were housed. They're simple, but they consist of a single large room with beds in separated by alcoves. So there are some treasures in there as well. There's a single fire salamander in the building C, so that's not great. He'll probably try to kill you. So in the exterior area, we've got some wandering monsters, mountain lions, bandits, giant hawk, scorpion, cave bear, veterans. Interior, fire beetles, more bandits, wild boar, orcs, cave crickets, and maybe an ogre. So that's going to be detrimental. Then we've got our level 1 map going inside, obviously, as you can see. And then we're going to have, obviously, the various different rooms as you're going to go through, guarded by maybe ogres. You're going to have, of course, some of those wandering encounters, and then, of course, orcs, like in the storage and barracks. There's 16 orcs there, so that's going to be pretty rough. There's a lot of treasure to be had here and there. 3,000 gold pieces in the Flame Lord's Rest. You've got the level 2 map here. It's a little bit bigger, as you can tell. We've got some secret doors locked and trapped, and some pressure plates, so watch out for those, of course. So a lot of these rooms are going to be obviously very temple-like. You've got a washing room, a rotunda, the offering coffer, which has got a bunch of stuff in it, 9,000 silver pieces, 12,000 gold, plus 2 plate mail, which is awesome, of course. A workroom, and then, of course, Tharkle's throne room. It's his personal quarters in the old dining hall. The door is trapped with lang clanging bells, so a little bit of traps and stuff like that. I would have wished that just little things like when it says, like in the Hall of request, like now the orcs use the secondary barracks, and anytime there are 18 orcs sleeping here, I'd have gone ahead and made 18 orcs bold just so people can see it a little bit better. You've got a feast hall, you've got the priest observatory, and then you've got the ascent, which is going to lead up into his resting place. So there it is. It seems like a cool little adventure that you could throw in somewhere for maybe a night's fun, and it's Temple of the Flame Lord for Old School Essentials. Thanks for watching.